This is a reply to some kid's rant about the Spider-Man 4 rebooted storyline. I haven't read too much of the literature on the new movie, so I can't be that good, but he said a lot of shit that was just plain wrong. He said the first and third Spider-Mans were terrible. Now, in my opinion, the third one was lacking. Yes, terrible? No. Compared to some other movies, superhero movies that have been coming out recently, Spider-Man 3 was a fucking hit. And it fucking sold. Alright, that's the whole point behind making movies, is that they sell. No one gives a fuck about the cinematography anymore. If it sells, it's a good fucking movie. Alright, the second one. He was, like, coming in his pants for Spider-Man 2. Now, it's a good movie, but it was nowhere near as good as the first Spider-Man. Sorry. Fucking brilliant casting in the first one. Just brilliant casting. Alright, Tobey Maguire, perfect Peter Parker in my opinion. The new guy, not perfect. He's English. Yeah, it's not Tobey Maguire. Some British actor, up and coming. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the Stephen Summer Show. This is a current events episode. Now, yes, I did change my hair. I don't have blue hair anymore. I guess maybe it's a homage to Spider-Man. Check out the blue earrings, right? But anyway, just a lot of things he said just sounded like a little preteen kid bitching about movies not turning out the way he wants them. Let me tell you this. Coming from a comic book geek, there will never, ever be a movie to match the story writing of Stan Lee. It's just never going to happen. Okay? So stop hoping for that. Alright? When Stan Lee has an idea to turn one of his characters into a movie, Hollywood fucking rapes his idea. Rapes his fucking brainchild. Well, yeah, because it pays, alright? The guy's got to make a fucking living. Yeah, but you know what? His comic books are worth way more than those movies based on his comic books. Unfortunately, you'd have to, because the story writing back then was based on the social and economical norms of back then, in the 60s and 70s, when Marvel Comics was getting its start. It could have been older, I don't know. I know DC Comics is older than Marvel. Batman and Superman. I hate DC, by the way. DC Comics can rot in hell for all I care. They have one good superhero, and he's not even a superhero. Batman. Batman is the only cool DC superhero. Batman is the shit. He doesn't need fucking powers. Superman has all the... Huh? That's Marvel. Fucking Superman has fucking every power under the goddamn sun, and he's still a whiny pussy. How the hell does that happen? The Flash is only fucking, like... I can't even remember... I can't even remember the names of any of the villains in The Flash. I'm sorry. Now, the Silver Surfer started as a bad guy, but only because he was misunderstood. But he's not DC, he's Marvel. He was in the Fantastic Four. First appearance. The Punisher. Oh, there you go, right there. The Punisher. Both movies. Crap. Horrible. But they sold. The first one did anyway. And they're way worse than all three of the Spider-Man movies combined. as far as rebooting the story, I could get maybe doing a little bit of a prequel and that kind of thing, but you got to continue the story on, right? I mean, there's so many villains that we all want to see in the Spider-Man world, and we don't want to see this little gay British guy fighting these guys dressed up as Spider-Man, because in our generation, Tobey Maguire is Spider-Man. I don't know whether that he wanted a bunch of money for it because he's become this big-time super actor. That's gross. Oh, that looks like a pirate version of my dad. But anyway, I'm just tired, like, of hearing all this fucking bitching about, like, these diehard comic book fans thinking that just because Stan Lee has his name on the movie and he created the characters, that he has ultimate control in how it turns out. It's never going to be as good as the comics. Never. Stop wishing for it. It's not going to be that good. Okay? Because a lot of the innuendo hidden inside the comic books wouldn't pass through the FCC, so editors get a hold of it. You know, so that's why books that become movies are always crap. There's so much cut out of it. What? Where did you hear this? That's weird as fuck. You know, Mystique's his mother. Yeah. Oh, that's something you guys are gonna want to check out. All right. I saw the trailer for X-Men First Class, and this is a subject that really interests me: the origins of Magneto and Professor X. Yeah, X-Men Origins Wolverine actually wasn't as... Yeah, that was really stupid, him having bone claws, but everything else was pretty cool, and I liked how they tied Cyclops into it, and he was blindfolded the whole time, so he actually knew the guy who would eventually steal his woman from him, which is greatness. Just greatness. Gambit was horrible. The representation of Gambit was fucking horrible. He did not do telekinesis. No, not in the movie. He didn't do it in the movie. That was his whole power. Charging objects with kinetic energy. In this one, he just made cards float and threw them at him like they were a bunch of fucking knives. I don't care. I don't care. People text when they're watching my web show, so it's all good. That was a text break. So, for those of you who wanted to check your messages and whatnot. Back to the subject. Excuse me. Back to the subject on comic book movies. However much I hate DC and the whole concept of Superman in general, I would love to see a new Superman movie that didn't have anything to do with the old ones. Well, can you really give her shit? She's cheating on the man with him, with his...
Superman get pissed off in the court show. He's like, oh, what? I'm top limit because I'm just a writer? Oh, I'm nothing compared to Superman, but you still want to keep me around like some fucking puppy?
Oh, you talk a big game about Superman's cock being bigger than mine. I'm Superman, bitch. What now? I'm sorry. The fucking movie, the newer Superman movie that was based on the old Superman movies, with the new Clark Kent, new Lois Lane, new Lex Luthor and everything. Fucking Kevin Spacey was horrible Lex Luthor. I'm sorry. Horrible. It's not his thing. I mean, he can play... An evil Jack. No, Picard is Professor X.
Okay, wait. Who are you talking about?
Lex Luthor.
Oh, okay.
These are two separate comic book
I was
universes.
thinking about something else, okay? And then you said, blah, 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 Kevin Spacey has blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what were you talking about? X-Men?
We're talking about comic book movies in general because some kid was bitching about the 3 Spider-Man movies. And he's speaking out for this new fucking steaming pile of shit that Hollywood is going to deliver to Stan Lee's chest.
Oh, wait. I thought you were against his rant.
I am against his rant.
But you disagreed with him.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, rub your eyes really hard to get that, like, pepper patterns in you.
Sometimes. Sometimes, yes. No, I'm not agreeing with him because he is speaking up for the new Spider-Man 4 reboot, and I'm speaking against it, and he is talking shit
Maybe
about...
He likes even numbers. Odd numbers scare him.
He talks shit about 1 and 3. Now, I'm not speaking up for number 3. The casting is horrible. Fucking who the hell wants to see Eric Foreman play Eddie Brock? Eddie Brock was a fucking bodybuilder. That's why Venom was so big. And instead, they got like fucking Peter Parker's body double in there as Venom, and it just didn't work, alright? And fucking turning Hydro Man into Sandman, that made a whole lot of fucking sense. God, that made me mad worse than anything. Like I will have to agree that Spider-Man 3 was pretty bad, but as he said, terrible. And entertainment value, it was an entertaining fucking movie. I'm sorry, I went and saw it in theaters, along with fucking hundreds of other people. Now, as much as I bitch about this new Spider-Man 4 movie, I know it's going to do well because everybody's going to want to see how well this guy does as Spider-Man. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're all going to be severely disappointed because it's not as easy as people think for people to imitate an American accent. We have so many different dialects from so many different parts.
House does it wonderfully.
That's because Hugh Laurie is an amazing actor. I mean, fuck, you're gonna put this like little pissant compared to Hugh Laurie in his game? I don't think so.
Edward Cullen.
Who the fuck is Edward Cohen?
Diggory. I can't remember his name. The Robert Pattinson.
Oh, the Twilight kid.
Yeah, he's British.
Yeah,
He doesn't work his accent pretty well.
Not really. Not really. You can tell the guy is English. I believe it or not, I've seen the first one, Twilight, the one that was mostly him.
I also watched that. The other one I haven't seen is the last one, and that's because it hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen New Moon because I'm sorry, I don't want to look at a bunch of shirtless Native Americans. I'm good.
No, but they have a baby.
I have dated several girls that read all the books. I know the story. The one chick's obsessed with vampires, wants to be a vampire, falls in love with a vampire who won't turn her into a vampire. Oh, has a baby with said vampire, and then the wolf guy, who has a hard-on for the one chick, imprints her daughter to be his life mate. So, like, he's so in love with, what's her fucking name? Bella, that he decides later in life he's gonna fuck her daughter. That's...
You think they use Janelle from Steve on 2 to do like a redneck version of it?
Oh my god, yes, you need to do that, Janelle, if you're watching, which you aren't. Do, like,
The redneck Twilight.
a Twilight spoof, redneck style. You know you can do it. You look just like the chick.